Would you believe me if I told you that this house that I'm standing in front of now was made of foam? Yup, all that you're seeing behind me right now started out as a foam structure that looked like this, and then it became this that you're seeing now. So let me take you behind the scenes from the very beginning to show you how we made my home from foam. Let's do this. So for context, what I'm doing is expanding on the current Airbnb. So obviously we're starting with the bare grounds in the backyard. When I'm through, we're supposed to have a bedroom, a master bathroom, and a small kitchenette. So we're starting by getting all the materials delivered. Don't worry, at the end of it all, I'm going to share with you guys how much material I bought, how much I spent on the entire project. Just stick around with me. So let's get into the meat of the matter. So first, I bought these pieces of lard. I believe they call them 25 of them, and they use this to do the outline of the house, and that's based on the design / plan that we have. And after laying out the lard to get the design, they went around with the red spray marker, red spray, whatever it's called, and drew the lines to know where the foundation is to be dug and where the partition is gonna be for the different sections of the house. You know, bucket that you look like fire. So that's us here looking over the plan, ensuring that everything is done to scale. Just note that the official plan that you get approved from the parish council is gonna be a big piece of paper. It's kind of huge and hard to maneuver, so here this is a small printed one in his possession, which makes it a little easier to work with. So I guess you can understand why. So one door, let me show you. You have to come in here, so, and then go in at the bedroom, yeah, so. So you know, I'm my own contractor, head cook and bottle washer, so I have to be on site, make sure everything is done according to plan, and that's very important. If you have your contractor, fine. If you don't, you have to be there regardless of what is presented or what you may tell your builder. Things can go wrong, things can be misconstrued, even the plan, to ensure you're on site and you have a good understanding of what is to take place. So this is where you really get to see everything start to go in motion, and that's where they start to dig the foundation, because you have to go down deep and get a solid foundation. So regardless of whatever material you use to make your wall, once you have your foundation done properly, steel and casted, and you have your columns done properly, steel and casted, and you have your beams, it doesn't matter what the walls are made of, you'll be just fine. How far down on the knee for us?
16 inches. You got 16 or 20 inches down.
Have fun. Is it even a construction site if you don't have a missile? Yeah, one of my pipe them get bust. So they basically dug in levels, so they went around the whole structure, dug out the first level, then they went around again, did another level, and they just kept going deeper and deeper until they got to the desired depth. We're not here yet, so they'll be here by now. He did say he was coming at around 8:30. Well, that's an end reach it, but I'm really going to finish this today now. They said they would, and then they will do the steel work tomorrow, and then we can start put on panel them on about, well, them can't see Wednesday and put on the panel Thursday, but let's see. It's deeper some places more than others. We have to do the floor. I have to chip out this because I want to catch back with the room here.
No, man, the floor. Oh, you mean the footing of the floor?
Yeah, in here, so. Because now when we're at this room, I got block off from the inside.
What you mean, the column or the?
The floor at the room here in here, so. Because the room here and what I build out here, so I got to be one unit.
Oh,
so they might enter from here, so, to go around at the room here.
The one floor level go right.
Alright, so this is day 2 of digging. They're here now. Let's hope we get this done today, because they have a little way further to go down. So let's see. They stumbled on some rocks and hard surfaces on the way down, so you know them have to draw for the hilty right, so no. While the digging was on the way, they started some of the steel work to make these stirrups, I think they call them. Don't quote me on these guys. I don't want this to be done. I don't know all the technical names. So
that's a lot of muscle work.
because
This looks like a lot of muscle work. How do we can then one?
everything, eh?
Well, let's see if we can manage, you know.
No, man.
It's alright.
Try, man. No starting.
Witness them do it. Ready?
Start record?
Yeah, go.
You start recording already?
Yeah.
You go come right round to this. So you're gonna make a L. Come.
Come around
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. All right.
Ah!
You're not done it.
You're not doing it.
You know.
One more.
Then you come.
Come on again.
Yeah.
We can't do
Come
this,
on.
man.
Come on.
Let me
All
give
right.
it a part of it. We can't do this. To me, you know, a little bit enough. I fit in everything, duh. So these are the steel cages now that goes into the foundation. Steel walls wrapped all around me. So we're going to start the casting soon. So now we're getting our sand and gravel delivered. And look how the truck I mash up my yard. Mighty God. So, yes guys, remember I'm going to tell you all the details in terms of the material that was bought. I think it's like 5 yards of sand to start out with. But I have to go through the receipts, so that's going to be another video. This series is going to be about in 3 parts, but I'm trying to make it as detailed as possible while not being too drawn out. So let's see how it works. So I went to the road and came back, workmen left, and I saw that the steel, they started to put it into the foundation. So I went for my little tape measure with my meticulous self and did my measurement to make sure that the foundation was at the correct depth. We're not playing no games around here. Yes, I could only find this handicap tape measure. I couldn't find my other one, but for the most part, it would have to do because I still can get a good idea of what the depth is. Just have belly skin today, though. What you not say?
No, there you are, man.
We say place too hot juicy, so Happy birthday, dear Juicy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
If you ever make me drop in your foundation.
If you tell you if you take this off from now, you make sure you step over the board them.
If you make me drop in your foundation, may I sue you? This is ready. So as you can see, the steel work is being done and they're also putting up the steel for the columns, which they're gonna box and cast up as well. So we are well underway now at this point. Columns. One more column going to come right here, so. And then they're gonna chip out the walls to tie the columns in. And then something there for come up right as at the front for all of the panel them. So end of day 3. Day 3 working, but yeah. So this is the day we got the panels delivered. So these are the foam panels. I ain't gonna lie, when I saw them I was like, I was thinking them look a little flimsy to me, but as wrong, it worked out pretty well in the end. So yeah, these are they. We have 2 different sizes. We have the ones for the wall and we have the ones for the roof. The ones for the roof are longer and thicker, but the ones we had done for the wall were also customized in terms of the length of them, because they didn't take into consideration that I would have had beams done, so therefore they were actually longer than they needed to be, because we ended up having to cut off quite a bit at the top. So in truth and in fact, they didn't need to customize it to a longer height. It would have actually worked, and I paid extra for that. So I want you guys to bear these things in mind when you're doing your construction. And now you know matter mix, because we are about to cast up the foundation. So this is where you really start seeing things come to life. So everything casts up now, and then when that dries, like a day after, they go ahead and add a row of blocks to the top. And that row of blocks with the single steel coming up is what is going to hold the panels in place. So this is after they put up the panels. I thought I had footage of the panels actually being put in place, but as you can imagine, they just push it through the grooves inside the panel, and the steel behind the groove is what holds it in place. Here, after the panels go up, it happens pretty quickly. The next step is for us to cut out the windows. So that is what we were discussing here, where I wanted the windows to be and how big I wanted the windows to be. Just like that. There's a big old hole. So these are the ends now that they put around where the doors will be, the door jambs, and where the windows end and start, and it helps to hold the cement in place properly for you to get that nice smooth edge at the top and the bottom of the windows and the doors. So that is what they're doing here now, and you'll have to purchase these separately. So here he's drilling the wall to try and find back the steel, and then they're gonna tie it together so it can be firmly held in place before they cast up the column in that corner there, and then it should be ready to move on to the next step after that is done. So here all the columns have been cast, and they took the form plies that were used to cast it up. They're gonna move them up some more and then finish casting the columns up into the beams. That's the next step. So while we wait for that to be done, because you know typically sometimes the workman didn't show up, I got the plumbing work done. So that is the guy here making a hole into the ground for the wastewater pipe and the other pipes to go through. It was pretty easy for him to work with this material, as you can see here. Didn't take much out of him, and then they're gonna run the pipes behind the steel cage that comes on the panel. So it's very important that you know you're supposed to do that for ease of accessing the part behind the steel cage. As you can see, he's cutting it out, but in terms of getting the pipes through the wall, it was very easy. So it's important that you do this at this step, so when they are putting the mortar on the walls, you don't have to dig through the mortar, because that is going to be difficult to do. I don't know why size I stole. It's small.
Work size dog.
So I'm gonna buy it. Oh, me I don't know. What happened? It's gonna be like this. Because it's two burner, one on the front and one on the back, and it's here. So I guess I'm gonna drop on the counter. Hook over this way.
Oh, where did I come? So the sink come and I make the sink.
Right.
Okay.
The sink in the middle. It's gonna be a very small sink with a very social facet. Like 6 social meters. A social facet one is the thing. So this one can bring out the counter. I also gonna knock out another big entrance. So through the room, counter will come by so the fridge is iron, the kitchen is go on top. You put something, and this is the counter to then eat. And I just prepare stuff or whatever. Microwave. I also had the electrician come in and put the electrical panels in the walls and also the electrical pipes. So all the wall work related to the electricals was done at this stage as well. And guys, before you do this step, make sure you figure out where everything is gonna go down to the appliances, because it makes the placement of the electrical panels easier. That will eliminate having cords stretched from left to right and right to left. Just have a basic idea in your mind of where you want things to go. So that's what I was explaining right there, because as usual, me at the end cook and back a washer. So this is what we're looking like now that we've gotten the plumbing and the electrical work done for the ground and the walls. The next step will be to cast the roof, but before they do that, they're gonna apply 1 coat of mortar to the panels. That will help the panels to stay in place so they are not wobbly, and then they will put on the roof. So here is what it looks like after the first coat of mortar has been added to the wall. As you can see, all the grooves are still showing. When they're done, all of these grooves will be gone. They've also put up the 2x4s horizontally, and that is what is going to be used to support the panels that we bought for the roof. So we also rented some props, and they're going to erect these vertically, and this is what is going to be used to support the roof when the weight of the concrete is on top of it. And I'm packing them up inside the house, because you know mama never raised no food. Yes, it does. The next step is that they're gonna just add the panels to the roof, and then the electrician comes in and put in the roof electrical pipes. That is in my bonfire like you put on. And after we do this step is when we get into casting the roof. And then this is the day we cast the roof. Yay! After this is when I can really start see the thing taking shape. And this is what the top of it looks like when they were done. You know, we have to wet it up and all these things. I know it's where you start by a whole heap of cement, because this is where the real part of the work starts, which is when you are flashing the outside of the house. So stay tuned for part 2.